Well, so we want to speak to a lot more of our regional correspondent. We want to gauge the mood, as it were, from yesterday. What also it was for the various political parties in the various regions, particularly when we know it's the last day of campaigning. Many of them convened events, just like we told you earlier. There were incidents of clashes in Saboba, in which a report confirmed by Hashmi Mohammed, our regional correspondent, is indicating that at least 2 people are said to have died, as well as a lot more people injured as a result of clashes between the NPP and NDC. And apparently, they were holding rallies same time, same period, and we know that could have been a potential point of conflicts or clashes. Now, the concern that were raised by many pundits were that when the police on board will try as much as possible to have a link with the Northern Region Police Command, and then we'll try to get their side of the story and how they're trying to restore security in many of those flashpoints. But it's all part of the run-up to the elections, and where your election headquarters. Just in case you want to communicate with us, as always, make sure you precede that with the hashtag ElectionHQ, and you can find us streaming live on our Facebook page, Join Us on TV. Now, Fred Kwame Asare is our regional correspondent from the Volta region. He's streaming through to us on the studio. Very good morning to you, Fred. And we were earlier on speaking about what the 2 parties as well as the other parties had done the last day of electioneering. But particularly when we know that the concerns have been raised about some level of concerns on the part of the NPP, likely people to be crossing the border, to be voting, etc. Is that something that they talked about in the last day of campaigning?
Yes. On Sunday, the NDC in the Volta region, I held a rally in Kofwe, where they invited the Vice President Bakwisi and Mr. Atta. And when he was addressing the rally, he mentioned that whoever is living in the neighboring countries, be it Togo, Benin, or other neighboring countries, and it's a Ghanaian and have registered, will be allowed to have access into the country to take part in the election. So he assured them that wherever you are, if you are a Ghanaian and you have taken part in the registration exercise, your name is on the voters register, you will be allowed to take part in the exercise.
I see. Now, did that get any reaction from the NPP, if you can tell us?
Well, the NPP, on the other side, we know, is implementing Operation Eagle Eye, where they have vowed that anybody or any Togolese who tries to enter the country to take part in the elections will not be allowed into the country. So they have not reacted to the vice president's comments. But then what they are doing is that they said they will make sure no Togolese enters the country on the election, that is tomorrow, to take part in the election.
Well, we'll see how that goes. But what's the atmosphere today, particularly when we know that the events of yesterday are over? There's not supposed to be any serious campaigning. How can your own observation be about the mood or the atmosphere in elsewhere in the Volta region?
Roland, I am here in the Volta regional capital, at the center of the city, civic center to be precise. And as you can see behind me, people are going about their normal duties. So I should say that there is calm in the region, and everybody is patiently waiting for tomorrow so they can go and then cast their ballot.
Well, we have to again call you back or touch base with you again, and we hope that the next time we call you, you'll be in a position for us to speak to some notable officials, if it's the EC or some observers or think tank people who are also observing the elections in the region. But that is Fred Kwame Asare, our regional correspondent from the Volta region, giving to us what really the atmosphere is in the Volta region. But he currently is in the Volta regional capital of Ho. But Nana Yaulaye is at the NDC regional office, where some people are being bused or transported to vote. And we know that it's something that is happening across the city, being put together by the various political parties to make sure that they are able to transport their supporters to go to the various polling areas to go and vote. And very soon, Nana Lai will be ready with that very feed, and then we can bring you the latest updates from the NDC office here at Kokomemle here in Accra. We would want to look at what the transportation arrangements are, how many people perhaps in estimation or approximation would be transported to go and vote in the various areas. Now, Nanayao, can you give us a vivid description of what really is taking place currently?
What do they want to do? Here we are with an old person, and I want to give you a welcome on Joy News.
I promise to say.
Yeah. Please, we want to ask you as to why you are here, and then what are you doing here as at this moment?
Yeah, you know what is going on in the system now. Voting time. So we have to choose the leader that will lead Ghana. That's why we are here.
So, particularly, what are you here for?
I'm just going to vote. My vote is at Buta region, so I'm going there. Yeah, that's why I'm here.
Okay. Why didn't you board a car for yourself, but decided to come to the regional office to get that means?
I have a problem. I just had an accident, so I was not working now. So that's why when they said there's free car, I said, oh, I'll bother and go and do what is best. So that's why I'm here. Okay. I should have done that, but if you love somebody, you can use your own heart. If there's no car, we have prepared ourselves.
Let's move to another person and have the same conversation with welcome to Joy News.
Thank you.
Please, I want to ask you, why are you here this morning?
Yeah, I'm here because of votes. That's why I'm here.
Voting as in what?
And it's from the NDC office here in Accra, where Nanayao Lai is giving us that very report about the transportation of supporters to the various areas. And we know that in that very event, the rally that was put together at the Accra Sports Stadium here in Accra, it was announced that those who would want to be transported to their areas of voting would have to come to the NDC office, and they are convening at the old NDC office here in Accra to get themselves to the destinations where they can go and vote. So Nanaya Lai bringing out those reports. But right now we'll have to call in a lot more of our correspondents, and well, we'll try as much as possible to make sure that we get them on stream and speak to them about what the atmosphere is, what currently is happening in the various areas where they are located, and what activities took place on Monday, because 24 hours to polling day, there's not supposed to be any form of party activity whatsoever. Of course, we can do the report, etc. as media, but in terms of the political parties themselves, they are not ethically and by their guidelines expected to do all that. So very soon we'll bring you a lot more of that. We're taking a break. We'll be right back.